Yo, I thought it was about time I did my annual update. I've now got 100 individual shelves that I've been filling with teams, and I thought I'd kind of do a count of what I think all the possible teams are that we can put together with Marvel Legends. Now, if you like this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe. You know all that jazz. And I thought we'd kick it off with team number 1, the Cosmic Fantastic Four. Now, I am hoping that my editing skills will allow me to put a counter in the top left-hand corner. Otherwise, you might have to count manually. But I was happy to get Valerie and Franklin added to this team. And then after that, we've got Galactus and his heralds. Now, currently not looking to add any more heralds to this display. And I did have to remove Silver Surfer from the top there. He kept on falling off and it was only a matter of time before he broke, so he's in a different display. Now next to them I've got just some other cosmic characters. But then the next team I'm trying to put together is the Kree. Now for this display I'm wanting to get a Kree Sentry. And I've got Captain Marvel there as a Skrull, just as a nod to the Secret Invasion story. And wanting to get some more of the Kree soldiers to army build them out. I did think about getting some of the old Kree soldiers from Hasbro, but I don't think I will. Hopefully they'll release them on a newer buck. After that, we've just got various Marvel villains. Wanting to get some more of those Ultrons to try and army build out some Ultron bots. And then we move into some X-Men villains. Now I don't count partnerships such as Juggernaut or Black Tom as a team. But I do have up here the start of a Freedom Force. Now the only other figure I'm really looking to add to this is if they were to do another comic book Mystique. And of course I do want Destiny as well, but I want to put her in my Brotherhood team, not on this display. And then next to them I've got Toad and Legion. And then as we move under the loft, just got some other X-Men characters. And then some Wolverine villains. And then just the Stan Lee on the very end. So moving on to the main shelves now. We'll start off here with the X Factor team. Now, if you've seen my previous videos, you would have seen a lot of these teams already. But you can see I'm still rocking the Toy Biz Beast and Iceman. And I've had to make myself a custom gene there. So it'd be good to get updated versions and proper versions of all of them. The next in line is Excalibur. So we're all just waiting for that Rachel Summers to be made to go along with this team. And then next to them, I've got Kitty Pryde standing really close because I wanted her to be involved with the X-Men 200 team. So again, I've had to make myself a couple of customs, but also wanting to get the Colossus and a first appearance Psylocke for this display as well. And then next we move on to the late 90s X-Men team. Now there's a number of people that could still be added to this shelf, but the main people I'm wanting to add to here is the Feral Wolverine and Marrow. And then I think I'd be happy with that, but I can always add more. And then we've got the original X-Men team. This team's been completed for a while. We've got the gates in the back there from the Marvel Select figures. But I suppose some of these, like Iceman, could do updating, especially having the correct boots. but I'm happy with this for now. And then I've got the starting of a Powers of 10 team. So this was in conjunction with the House of X storyline. Now, I never did finish my Zorn custom. I could never find the pieces I was wanting. But also on here, wanting to get North and Krakoa, as well as getting Cardinal and Rasputin. That's what I'm wanting for this display. And the next in line is a modern X-Force. So I'm still just wanting that modern look for Wolfsbane, but I imagine that will be one that will need to be a custom, which might be able to do with X23 if I could find a good head for that. Then moving on, we've got the Outback team. So I replaced my custom Rogue with the official version, and I've got the updated Longshot, Dazzler, and Havoc since my last video. We're just still waiting for that Armored Psylocke. I don't know if they're ever going to make a... And then next to them is the Shi'ar Imperial Guard. Yeah, so there's still lots of characters that could go on this display if they make them. I'm not too sure if they could all fit on this one shelf, but because they're cosmic characters, I'd move them up to the top shelf with the rest of the cosmic characters to make room for other teams if need be. Then next to them, I've got this empty space. So there's still quite a few other teams that I'd like to put on this shelf if Hasbro ever get around to making them, such as the new X-Men, the Morlocks, the Phoenix 5, or the Utopian team. So we'll just have to wait and see what Hasbro brings out in the future, and then one of those or another team will get put into there. And then next to that, we've got the New Mutants. So again, I've had to make a number of customs for the characters in this team. I just need to make myself a Cypher, and then that team will be finished. And then last in this line, we've got the Deadly Genesis team. Now, as Hasbro make their way through their B and C list characters, we may eventually see the other characters for this team, but I'm not counting on it anytime soon. But now, heading down, we've got the Marvel Now X-Men team. Now, this is a team that we saw in the X-Men vs. Avengers storyline, where we saw most of these characters, such as Magic, Namor, Cyclops, Emma Frost, and Colossus, obtain the powers of the Phoenix. And speaking of the Phoenix, here we have her here. So as always, I think she deserves a shelf all to herself, but I'm not counting her as a team, obviously. But yeah, she's one of my favourite displays. Then on from that, we've got Deadpool. Now again, I'm not counting the various partnerships that he has as teams, but I am counting the Deadpool Corps side. Just needing the Kid Pool to finalize that. And I've got an extra puck, so I might try and make a custom out of him to make Kid Pool. And then as you saw, the next shelf is Alpha Flight. So I don't know if we're ever going to get Marina. Hopefully we do. And then again, this team will be complete after that. And then after that, we've got the House of X team. Now I'm still trying to get some arms for Apocalypse to finish that kit bash. And I've added Kid Omega to this shelf. And I'd be keen to get a green Domino, maybe with half of her skin peeled off, to kind of pay tribute to the X Factor comic. Otherwise, still keen to get a Storm and a Colossus and possibly a Nightcrawler to go on this shelf as well. And then next we've got the X-Men 275 team. So this is actually a team I was wanting to get for ages. I was stoked when they released those 2 3-packs. Just need to get myself a second Banshee because I've got him used in another display. And then after that we've got this 80s X-Men team. And in this team I'm just looking to add a Kitty Pryde from her first appearance look, as well as a first appearance Rogue. Well, first appearance in the X-Men anyway. And then after that, we've got Cyclops' X-Men team. Now this is Cyclops when he was the villain. Now I do have my shelf arranged so that the top half of my shelf is all X-Men and the bottom line of that are all the villains. So he could technically go down on that line, but I'm still keeping him and with the others. And I don't have anyone else that I'm wanting to add in there immediately. Then after that, we've got X Factor. So I've added random to this display. And then we just need the official Wolfsbane whenever they decide to make them. Just got the Kit Bash version for now. Then after that, we've got the Ultimate X-Men from the Earth 1610 universe? So for this display, I'm just wanting to get a Cyclops, Storm, and Colossus. I don't know if we're ever going to get those versions. And then moving on to the Astonishing X-Men. So with the recent release of Cyclops and Emma Frost, I think it's likely we'll be getting a updated Wolverine, Beast, and Kitty Pryde. Hopefully another Colossus as well. We'll just have to see what they do. And then moving on to Generation X. So I am hoping that they're going to start making the rest of these characters to fill in here. So obviously this is where I put my Banshee. And I made myself a custom Emma Frost. I just need to take the legs back off and cut down the pegs to close up that gap. But yeah, I'd be keen to see all the other characters like Jubilee, Husk, and M, etc. to be added on there too. And then moving down, we've got the Weapons Plus program. So ultimately, to finish off this display, I'm just looking for a Silver Fox. It would be nice to have a Sabretooth or a Victor Creed in his outfit from this time, even Wolverine as well. But I might look to add in other characters like Phantom X and Captain America, X-23, and Deadpool, who also went through this program as well. And then we're moving down to the X-Men Volume 5 team. So I've kind of condensed 2 teams onto here. I've got Magneto's team, where I just want to add M and a Phantom X. Then I've also got one of the other X-Men teams that ran alongside this comic. So I could possibly add in a Magic, Jean, and possibly even a young Cyclops in that team as well. Then after that, we've got the Age of Apocalypse team. So this team's nice and full. I could do another wave of these, but I probably want mostly villains in that wave. Definitely need a Bishop for this team, I think. But then moving on from there, we've got the X-Men Gold team. Now this was the team that Storm led, while Cyclops led the blue team. And that's complete for the most part. And then moving from there we've got the X-Men animated series display. For this team, I tried to have them running together, like at the end of the intro, but because I can't pose for shit, it doesn't look very good. But I've added all the VHS versions of the X-Men, and then filled in the blanks where we had other characters that kind of fit in, like the Target exclusive Gambit and Rogue, and the Retro Beast, and the Professor X as well. And the same with the villains, added in the VHS versions, and then other characters that fit in there. Now I've got the X-Men 97 wave coming in the mail, so when I get the Magneto, I think I'll be putting him in here. Then after that, we've got when Wolverine took over the X-Men in the events of Schism. Yeah, and so Wolverine was running the school, I think, during the events of the Marvel Now. Don't believe I'm looking to add anyone specific to this display. And then after that, we move on to the Starjammers. So hopefully we're going to get a Hepzibah and Raza soon. I was thinking of moving Binary to this shelf as well, but I've left her up on the on the Cosmic shelf at the moment. And then moving on from there, we've got the giant-sized team. So this, again, another one of my favorite displays. And just, yeah, another updated Banshee in this outfit. That's all I'm really waiting for with this shelf. And then we've got the X-Men Blue team. So again, this is another one of my favorite displays. And one of my favorite teams. So not looking to add any more. Then moving down, we've got X-Force. So just like everyone else, I'm just waiting for them to make Feral finally. Don't know how long they're going to make us wait for that one. And after X-Force, I've got the Uncanny X-Force. So for this iteration of the team, just wanting a Nightcrawler in his outfit from here. That's all I'm looking to add. Then moving down, we've got the original team, but with their second costumes. So this shelf is mainly made up of the old Toy Biz figures. But we've got the early Hasbro Jean Grey, and then Polaris. So yeah, I'd look to add a Changeling and a Mimic in here if they made them. Otherwise, we could probably do some updated versions of some of these characters. Especially Angel. I know everyone's hanging out for that one. Then moving on to the villains. Starting with the HasLab Sentinels. So I do have another Sentinel display, so I'm going to count that one on my team's list. But like I said, I've got the X-Men 97 wave coming. And when that arrives, I'm going to set those figures up in here to make a diorama. And so that'll be my team count for there. Then after that, we have got these guys. So I've been trying to source myself some more of those Malcolm heads to try and make some of the other soldiers. Then just for the Reavers, just wanting to add Donald Pierce. Hopefully they make him in his look for this team. And then we've got the Hellfire Club. So the only character missing for me is mainly Harry Leland. Might have to make a custom of him using perhaps one of the Kingpin bodies. And then we've got the 4 Horsemen of Apocalypse. So I'm hoping that we'll get the actual 3 horsemen to add in here. Otherwise, not looking to add anything else. Then I've got my Brotherhood display. Now, although this is on 3 shelves, I'm only counting the 2 teams. Magneto's team. Just need Quicksilver and his green outfit for that. And Mystique's Brotherhood. So this is where I'm wanting to put Destiny when they eventually make her. Then I've just got other characters who are part of the Brotherhood in the middle. Then on from there, we've got the Dawn of X villains. So for this display, it would be cool if they made army builders for the Hound soldiers, as well as the Orchid soldiers. That's all I think I would put on there. And then we're moving on to the Mojoverse. Now this Spiral is my figure of the year for this year, or last year. Was it 2022? Whichever year anyway. But yeah, I think that was the best figure they've released in a long time. Now, I wasn't originally going to count this display as a team, but yeah, it's my video. Fuck you guys. Then after that, we've got the Mutant Liberation Front. So as you can see, there's still so many characters across so many teams that they can still make. For this team, especially wanting Forearm and other characters like Reaper, etc. It'd be cool to get that one fleshed out too. Then next, we've got the other Sentinel display. So if I ever get another Nimrod to display with his pink face, I might try and squeeze him on here. Otherwise, yeah, this is where I've got my old Toy Biz Sentinels and the Master Mold head. I never got any of the Hasbro Sentinels of that size, so I might try and switch those out one day. Not too sure. And then after that, we've got the villains from the Age of Apocalypse line. So like I mentioned before, if we were to get another wave, hopefully it would have the likes of Mr. Sinister and Havoc. And then even if the Build-A-Figure was Holocaust, I'd be keen to get them on here. Then for my last X-Men display, we've got the Marauders. So I think I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but there's still lots of characters to add to this team as well if they ever make them. So as this was my line of villain shelves, the next line down is all my Avengers teams, starting off with the classic Avengers. Now I move this team onto this shelf because I'm planning on getting the NECA street diorama to put in the back. And then on the top shelf, wanting to put the 5 classic Avengers. And then on the next row, put Captain America's Quirky Quartet, or whatever they were called. And then down the bottom, just put all the other various characters that joined after that. And also, this will be housing Giant Man. Now, it is quite amusing to see the rift in the community and the controversy around the HasLabs lately, but to me, there seems to be a really simple solution. Because from various interviews I've seen with the Hasbro team, it appears very apparent that the cost of the tiers, well, at least some of the cost anyway, is baked into the initial base cost, which if this is the case, it feels like you can potentially end up partially or even fully paying for a tier that you don't get if the tier goals aren't met. And because of this, it's kind of understandable a lot of people wait until the tiers are funded before they back it. And this is most likely why we see that spike in backers once it hits its goal. So I reckon just get rid of the tiers and give 2 base offerings. For example, offer Giant Man by himself for $199,
but also offer him for $250 where he comes with, let's say, Wasp and Yellow Jacket. I mean, the Heroes Quest HasLab did that where you could pay for just the game, but they also offered it with the game and the expansions for an increased price. That way you can choose the amount you want to spend without worrying about paying for stuff that you may not potentially get. And then for all those people that just want the tier figures but complain that they're locked behind a price gate, just be honest and say that you'll be re-releasing those figures in a year's time or so on a retro card in a slightly different color or something. We all know how they like to do that. So just pick them up then. I mean, I don't get the secrecy around the figures that are going to be coming to align with the HasLab and why are they announced up front. I mean, Rectangular is just going to be telling us anyway, so why not just make it public knowledge? And for all the people in the US and UK who are complaining about the prices, man, try living outside of those areas and trying to get these figures. The Giant Man HasLab in New Zealand was $600. And I mean, they wanted $1,250 for the Engine of Vengeance. That was one that I did not back. There was not even a comparable price. But anyway, moving on. Here we have the West Coast Avengers. I was real stoked when they announced that 5-pack. The only disappointing factor of that was, of course, the sleeves for Mockingbird. I mean, we already had the sleeves we needed with Lady Deathstrike, so I don't know why they didn't utilize those. But, oh well. They probably just want to re-release her again later on. And moving on, we've got this 90s version of the Avengers. So I'm still using my Kit Bash version of Black Knight for this team. Just need to pick up that 2-pack with Cersei. And next time they make a Captain America, he'll probably go on this team as well. They just need a proper crystal. Just got a Kit Bash there too. Then after that, we've got the Heroes Return Avengers. So as we get other characters that will slot nicely into here, I'll try and squeeze them in. And then after that, we're looking at the Civil War display. So this is where we had Captain America face off against Iron Man over the registration. So I'm not going to count Captain America's team as one and Iron Man's team as another team. I'm just going to count the teams within those teams, such as the Young Avengers that we've got, who was part of Cap's team. And then on Iron Man's side, we've got the Thunderbolts and the Heroes for Hire. Now, I suppose I could include Fantastic Four as well, as most of these members are in here. But I have Thing in a different display, so I'm not counting them. And then on from that event, we've got the Secret Avengers. So this was the underground team that came about from some of the remaining members of Captain America's team from Civil War. So wanting to get Echo to put on this display. And it'd be good to get another Wolverine in his Avengers outfit. This one's not quite right. So these members, as well as others, then went on to form the New Avengers with Bucky Cat. But the team that was hunting this team down were the Mighty Avengers. Now this Avengers team, led by Carol Danvers, is one of my favourite displays I've got for the Avengers shelves. And in my last video, I said that I was really hoping that we'd one day get a Spider-Woman with a Skrull Queen head, so I was really stoked when we got that announcement. So I've got everyone in there. And after that, we've got another iteration of the Secret Avengers. So I've got Wasp on this display, so I need to find another one to add into here. I've been looking to try and get the Marvel Universe minifigures to add one of those in here. And if they do make a new Astonishing Beast
I'll take the one that I've got on my Astonishing X-Men shelf and move him down here as well. Then next we've got the Marvel Now Avengers. And again, this shelf is complete for the most part. Actually, if we do get another Wolverine in his Avengers outfit, he'll be coming here first. I do have the MCU version of Captain Marvel there. So next time they bring out a comic version, I'll replace that. And there's a couple of other X-Men characters, such as Cannonball, and that outfit that I want to add into here too. And then after that, we've got the Uncanny Avengers. Now, I did have the Thor I wanted for this shelf, but I've since moved him to another display. So I'm happy with how it is now, but if they make another Wonder Man and a Sunfire, and again a Wasp, I'll look to add them onto here as well. And then we've got the all new, all different Avengers. So this team is complete. And then I had Ant-Man and Wasp from the Astonishing series, which ran alongside this comic that I didn't know where to put, so I just kind of separated them and put them on the side there. But I also really like this team as well. And then we move down to the Fantastic Four. And looking at this, I had forgotten I had removed the face. I'd replaced it with the Emma Frost face, but I then reused that for my Generation X Emma Frost. So I need to be finding another head for there. And then we've got the Ultimates. So I'm really needing the Spectrum that came in the A-Force SDCC pack to add onto here. But trying to get those second-hand in New Zealand is almost impossible. I also made myself a custom America Chavez, but I need to get a new head and some proper legs. I just painted over her pants. Looks like she's had liposuction. And then after that, we've got the New Avengers. So I'm still missing Night Thrasher. I need to check in here. And we've got Justice along the way. And, I mean, I know we're getting Namorita, but we all know it's the wrong version, so just have to hold out for the proper version for this team. And then that will be looking nice as well. After that, we've got the Iron Man Armory. So as I get Iron Man figures that I don't have any place for on other team displays, I just chuck them in here. I mean, we all know we're going to be getting a gold version of the first appearance figure, and that's what I'll be putting on my shelf with the original 5. And then we've got Spider-Man. Now, in regards for teams for this display, I'm going to count the Spider-Verse team, which I'm trying to flesh out in the back there, as 1. And then amongst all of the villains, I think I'm just going to try and get, I don't have all of them yet, but the original Sinister Six put on one side with other villains. And then I think I'll go for Boomerang's Sinister Six team on the other. But I just need to get all of them first before I can display that. And then we're moving on to the Defenders. So I'm wanting to add a Silver Surfer in for this team. And I'm also going to add Clea into this team as well. Not that she was part of the team, but I think she did make an appearance and I really don't know where else to put her. So when she arrives, she'll be going in there. And then moving on, we've got the scrolls. Now, eventually, I will move all of these up onto my cosmic shelf next to the Kree. But yeah, waiting for a proper Scroll Queen figure. Might be able to make one using the head from the Spider Woman that we got. But ultimately, this shelf is reserved for Guardians of the Galaxy. So again, looking to get that STCC pack. But again, I don't know, I might have to remortgage my house to try and get that. And then we've got the Winter Guard. So there's a couple of other figures, well, characters we could get for this team. Can't remember their names, I'm not too familiar with them. But again, hopefully one day they make those and we can add them in. Otherwise, we've got Asgard. Yeah, so for this team, looking to add some more Asgardian related characters, such as Sif from the A-Force box set. It would be really cool if they made like a Warriors 3 pack. I'd get that and stick that on here. Otherwise, I've got the retro carded Loki. So if I get the original one that came from whichever wave that was, I'll be keen to add that onto here too. Moving on, we've then got our Wakandan shelf. So again, for this team display, just looking to add any Wakandan related characters. There's not too many at the moment, but I'd be real keen to get a comic version of Okoye. And then moving down, we've got the Illuminati. So for this specific team I'm trying to capture, the only character I'm looking to add is Namor. And I've been considering getting the old Toy Biz figure, because that's the look I'm wanting to put on here for him. But I'm just holding out to see if Hasbro will one day release that version. And then we're moving on to the Invaders. Now, I've already used the Namor that I'd want to use for this team on my Defenders shelf. So I wouldn't mind if they re-released him on a retro card so I could add him in here too. Otherwise, just need another Human Torch because it had both Johnny Storm and whatever the other guy's name was. And then just a Spitfire as well could go in here. Now, she might be easy custom to make using Firestar. Then moving down, we've got the Thunderbolts. So at the moment, I've just got the Thunderbolts characters that I have on this display. Although Moonstone doesn't go well with these two, I am, again, wanting to get the SDCC pack for the Thunderbolts, as well as the Man-Thing Builder figure. That would be the display that I'd have for this Thunderbolts team. I don't know what I'd then do with these two, because I don't see them making the other characters for this team. I mean, we do have Songbird, but I've got her in my Thunderbolts display in my Civil War shelf. Yeah, I'll have to work that out later on. And then we've got the Squadron Supreme. So this was a team that we saw Hasbro kind of pump out quite quick, which is good to see them releasing teams, this fast. Because some of those other teams, man, they take years to put together. So yeah, of course, just waiting for Power Princess to come. And then she'll be added in here too. Then after that, we've got the Ultimates. So for this shelf, I think Iron Man's the only character I'm really looking to add. I mean, there is a version of Giant Man as well, but, he'll be too big to fit on here, and don't know if I want to be rearranging my collection again if they release one. We'll be looking to make a Champions display, which I'll be moving Ironheart to. Then after that, it is the Savage Avengers. So for this shelf, I need to grab a Conan figure and a Punisher.
So I think the Punisher that comes with the motorcycle is the one that I'll be looking to add onto here. Otherwise, just waiting for them to do Elektra in red on a retro card again or something. Then I'll replace her in that white outfit. And then moving on to S.H.I.E.L.D. So Dun Dun Dugan and a Hawkeye would probably be my only two real wants to add onto this shelf. Otherwise, it's pretty full already. And then after that, we've got the Inhumans. So lots of characters still wanting to add onto here. Specifically Crystal and Lockjaw. Then you've got the guy with the goat legs. But would also wouldn't mind adding on people like Devil Dinosaur and Moon Girl. And we could also put a Ms. Marvel character on here as well. Then to the right of them is my Marvel Knight / Midnight Suns shelf. So for this team display, a lot of the characters from the new Midnight Suns wave that's coming out will go on here. And I need to get myself a Daredevil to go on here too. And then we'll just see who else can go on here as well. Then after that, we've got the Symbiote shelf. So for this shelf, I want to get a team of all the symbiotes. Now I've got some on other shelves already, so any ones that I don't have, like Toxin, etc., will go on here. And it'll be cool to have a group of them. Then next, we've got A-Force. So this shelf is currently holding a lot of the female characters that I don't have a need for on other teams. If I do ever get that STC A-Force box set, then yeah, that comes with Singularity that I want for here. And then of course everyone's wanting that She-Hulk that comes in the onesie that we'll be putting on there too. Then moving on, we've got the other Thunderbolts shelf. So this is my main Thunderbolts display. I just wanted to get the Punisher with the red logo and potentially paint the red logo on him too. And this is where I have my Elektra in her red outfit. Otherwise that shelf is pretty much complete. And then moving on to another Defenders display. So the Feather team I just need to put on Namor. Now the one that we need is this Namor here, but of course I've already got him on this shelf. But I am considering trying to get another one of him and just putting on the bearded head that came with the other Namor, just to mix that up. And then we've got the original Guardians of the Galaxy. Now I did add the original Star-Lord with these guys, even though he wasn't in this team. But I will eventually move these guys up to my Cosmic shelf once I need the need for this space. So, yeah, I don't know if we'll get the other characters from this team, but we'll just wait and see. Then moving down to the final row, to the villain shelves, where we start off with the Secret Wars Doctor Doom. So I've tried to add in the Thor clone army that he had. And I've also hung up the giant Doctor Doom mask that they all worshipped. So this came from that stupid Doctor Doom head that we got with the HasLab Galactus in the last tier. I had no other use for that, so I just ripped it out of there and hung it up. Otherwise, just wanted to put up a Sue Storm and a Valerie in their white outfits. And then that would be all I'm kind of wanting to put in this display for now. And then we move on to the Dark Avengers. And although Marvel Boy isn't in his correct outfit for this shelf, it's close enough. Otherwise, just wanting to add in the Moonstone Captain Marvel, and then the Norman Osborn Iron Patriot. Which now that we've got the Extremist Armor Iron Man, I only see a matter of time before we'll be getting that. And then I've got some Loki-related characters for his team. So, yeah, so that A-Force box set again comes with a Lady Loki that I would add her onto here. I've got the retro card version on another team. And then there was just those Frost Giants. Were they Diamond Select? I can't remember. But if I got those, I'd like to add them onto here too. And then, a pretty empty shelf, we've got the Life Foundation. Now these bottom shelves have really become real cobwebby and dusty. But wanting to add in the Amazon exclusive Life Foundation pack, as well as Lasher from the Lizard Build-A-Figure wave. And then we move on to the Cabal. So again, for this team, just needing Namor. I feel like Namor is one person that I need on a lot of shelves. So I've added just using him as a Doom bot. So I wouldn't mind getting another one in there as well, just to put behind Dr. Doom. Other than that, moving on to the Hand. So we're getting the Fist Ninja and the Midnight Suns wave that's coming out. So it'll be going in the back there with the other Hand Ninjas. And then we're also getting a Lady Bullseye in that wave too, which will be put in here. And then I'll just be looking to add the Daredevil in the black suit. And potentially in Elektra as well. Now after that, we've got the start of a Black Order. Yeah, I'm really hoping that they'll make comic versions of all the Black Order characters. Now we've got that Drax and Moondragon 2-pack that I might potentially move him up to the Cosmic shelf and add there to create the Infinity Watch. But at the moment, yeah, I'm hanging out for those comic Black Order. And then next, we've got Hydra. So for this team, I still want to get the 2-packs that I mentioned in my last video, as well as some more of the army builders. And we've also got the female army builder as well that came out with the Shield Soldier. Then after that, we've got the Serpent Society. So there's still lots of characters that can go on here. The only character that they've made that I don't have is Eel. So I'll try and snatch him up. We'll see who else they release for that team. The next in line is the Masters of Evil. Now I have crammed 4 teams into this display, and I'm still wanting to get people like Whirlwind and the rest of the Wrecking Crew. But the 4 teams I've got here is Dr. Egghead's team, Baron Zemo's team, Ultron's team, and I made a custom hood for his team. That's all of them. And then after that, we've got the Ultimate Carnage. So still got to get the rest of the Build-A-Figure pieces for Demo Goblin. And then I want to get Doppelganger. And then if they ever make a carry-on, I'll add him in here as well. And then lastly, we've got AIM. After adding Yelena, I'm not looking to add anything else to here particularly. I might grab another army builder if I see one. But yeah, that's it. Those are all the teams that I've been able to make or am planning to make. So yeah, let me know in the comments what teams you've made that I've missed, or what teams you want to see come out in the future. Other than that, yeah, that's me. I'll see you next time. Probably in about another year or so.